Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Demonastery Dojo for some more Vynnset gameplay and deck iterations. Uh, I'm Kevin, the Arcanine Shadow, and yeah, continuing my foray into the dark depths of Vynnset. Um, no major changes between last week and this week. That's not true. There's a few. Um, so, our little brief experiment with Art of War is behind us. Card, in theory, phenomenal, but it turns out to really get the most out of it. It's very card intensive. It doesn't block. Uh, Turns where you want to offensively Art of War, you either want to have had an attack action already in your arsenal, which is not ideal for this deck. We would much prefer to arsenal several of our non-attack actions. Uh, or you need to keep a full 4 card hand that has both a card you want to pitch or a Tunic resource up, and 2 attack actions that you want to banish. And that just, when it lines up, it's phenomenal. But Vynnset is not a deck that needs any extra variance added to it. Um, and realistically, Art of War, I sort of landed on the fact that I would want Art of War in a longer, slower game. But if I'm playing against, a Bravo, a Fatigue Dash, or anyone else just trying to take a defensive fatigue posture against this deck, if it's already going to be that sort of game, why jump through hoops to make Art of War work when I can run something like Putrid Stirrings? So Putrid Stirrings, a few of these cards have been in past editions of the deck and were out for a while, but are back in again. Reduced to Rune Chant, we're going to give it another shot as well. The value proposition on it is fantastic. If you've got a Rune Chant, this is you know 1 card, 0 resources for approximately 6 value, um, and potentially even more implied value if that Rune Chant unlocks a specific threshold for a gate on your next turn. Um, it also, obviously you don't want to ever be pitching to it. It is much worse in those situations. That said, it's not necessarily the end of the world. Um, the experiment we're going to mess around with today is Tunic Grasp as our default equipment loadout. So the presence of Tunic potentially it takes a little bit of the pressure off. Sometimes we can go to 0 rune chance if we have a Tunic resource, knowing that we can Tunic reduce. That's still a pretty great value play. And even when you have to pitch for it, reduce is, if it hits a resource threshold for you on the following turn, then you're pitching a card and playing another card. You're using two cards for still 6 value. So even the fail state isn't quite as bad as it seems. And then just, having a better handle on how to pilot Vynnset also should help keep keep the reduces live more often than not. So that's where we stand with the experiment as of tonight. Yes, Alex, rip Art of War, gone too soon, but also not really. um, all right, so let's request undo CC. And here we go. Oblivion has managed to stick around for another week. I think its potential in longer, slower matchups is just great. Offense that also plays defense. Being on Funeral Moons makes it easier to hit. The one thing that this list is missing that sort of would be the easiest way to make sure that you can enable Oblivion is Read the Runes, which is on the short list of things to cycle back in and try again. So Also need to see if we can break a bit of a losing streak today. Been not running super hot the last couple weeks, but we're learning, and that's what's important. Come on, opponents. It's only Vynnset. It's not that frightening. Oh dear. Immediately punished with the arrival of Kano. Alright. Let's get some blues. Let's get some pummels. We get to go first. So let's pummel and let's just get downhill. Ebb and fold. Wanted to try some new equipment out, but we're not gonna be doing it that way in this match. I actually don't even know if we want. Well, no, I guess we do want to make sure we keep the shields up. All right. Well, this sure is a legal opening hand. That's why Putrid Stirring got its way back into the list. Pickle, please be quiet. You're very loud, boss. Oh yes. Turn 0, blind, Tome of the Aetherwind off top. Gotta love it. Yep, we're definitely both playing the same game here. I feel like I'm drunk. Why am I about to take 6 damage? I know Crucible. Oh, never mind. Tome of Aetherwind is buffing it. Alright, so that's fine. We'll block 3 of that. This feels kind of free. Hey Chase, how's it going? Alright, well we are set for a pretty nice turn 2. It's a little bit of a shame that we banish this Putrid Stirrings rather than a plethora of other options. Let's see. So we're going to have the Rune Chance. I think we'll block 3. Keep Envelop around. We'll turn that off so we don't have to keep doing it. Alright, Deathly Delight in the house. The real question is, do I bother with the Putrid Stirrings at this stage of the game? They have no setup, they have no tunic resource. I think it's early enough that we want to prioritize the offense. And Deathly Delight makes our activation of Flail effectively not cost a point of life. Sure. Swell tidings. Alright, well they're not going to have an arsenal, which is unfortunate given our hand. Active players. Swell tidings for 6. They get a ponder if it deals more than 5. On our turn, I don't want to let well, I guess I don't really care about a ponder because I'll just threaten it anyways. So we can just attack with shields up next turn. You can have your ponder. So, with no arsenal there, we have no incentive to force our arcane through. So here we get to attack with Widespread Destruction for 3 and 10 with Go again, with a Flail to follow, and we can keep Envelop in Darkness arsenaled. It's also with the Mob Skies Float and that, and Ebb and Fold, we are pretty firmly shields up at this precise moment. Absolutely. Banish Phantom Wraith. And... ooh, okay, so... we break the chain, nothing's going to happen. I still have AB3 and Spell Void, so I think we're going to do it. We're going to break the chain. We're going to pop Quill Hand. Then the real question is, no, I think we sit on the Envelop in Darkness because we're without Quillhand at this point. Well, immediately punished. um, we continue to fly too close to the sun. The irony is if I don't pop Quillhand, we're still sitting on a 2. We can banish Whale, Puppetry, Whale into Phantom. Yeah, we could have. Well, no, this isn't the end of the world though. We can still make some attacks and get our setup in. So we're going to take the hit from Quickening. Oh, gross. 3 from the Snapback. Yeah, that's my plan, Alex. Going to ditch the Pummel because the Pummel doesn't do anything for. Well, I could also keep the shields more up, but I think I'd rather Puppetry and threaten one more turn of Rune Chance. We're gonna get rid of that. And this. Pay no life. We're definitely more shields down than we want to be at this point, but having Ibbenfold is important. This is also only turn 4. They have no arsenal. Again, like they have Tunic. That's the only. Oh, top with the eye. Alright, well, methinks we're gonna go for some shenanigans. So they just need, let's see, so 2's there. I think they need a couple blues. Okay, so they paid for Metacarpus. Can't pitch to AB, but we will Spell Void the Wildfire. Reverberate. Got nothing. Are we still alive? Oh wait, right, because the other... Yeah, 3 that got buffed, and then buffs the reverberate. Skaboom. DED. Another. Someday. Someday I'll win games again. Just not yet. It'd be boring. Can't be too easy. If anything, I should just be teaching you all valuable lessons, like don't pop your Vexen Quill hand before you have to. Just never, ever, ever. Okay. So with Dash, we kind of are priced into sideboarding as though they are going to try and fatigue us. So we're going to be running a few extra cards, and we're going to run Nebula Blade. Ooh, interesting. Let's... banish there. And this is kind of a weird one. So we really want to get our setup set up. Let's see how much they want to try and fight it. They're letting it hit, which is great. We get a Mobsgeist Rune-Chant. We get a second one when the chain breaks. Oh, we're good to go. Living the dream now. Let's just not get boosted off the planet. T-Bone with boost. Let's see. So for our turn, we want to go Banish Putrid Stirrings. We want to play Mobsgeist, Putrid Stirrings, paying a life into a Nebula Blade hit. Oh man, are we gonna get T-boned out of here? Oh. It's fine. We're still winning this game. Calling it. Turn 2, T-Bone, T-Bone, Magnetic. Uh, we can see what they want to do here. If they let the red mauve hit, it makes me more inclined to not swing Nebula and arsenal the pummel for next turn. But if they're going to invest in blocking 8 off physical here. Yeah, that's exactly how we drew this one up, right? Lose all the equipment on turn 2 to a T-Bone Magnetic. Both teams played hard. I guess between the T-Bones of the world plus Magnetic and stuff, I wonder if there's a world where, if they are on boost, we want to have the other armor block more anyways. Okay, so that connected. Now we can either push 7, but given the present situation, I think I'm more inclined to just arsenal this pummel. Oh, baby. Well, the awkward part is we can't do shit with the pummel now. But, you know. Throttle banishes throttle. Um, It's just damage. Oblivion and Nazareth won't cost us our setup, so I'm kind of thinking about blocking with Funeral Moon and banishing a 2-block instead. But we'll take this 6 and we'll see what's up after. Alright, well, ending the turn is not what I suspected. We kind of want to cycle through some of this stuff anyways, so we're not going to pay life for Vynnset. We are going to go to 6 chance. We are going to Oblivion. We're going to pop for 6. Take a card from Dash's non-existent soul. There's a pretty easy redhead joke in there somewhere. Cool. We're going to do some pummel shit this turn. If we don't, just die. Well, alright. Tiklo Core, high octane 5-card hand. Am I going to get max velocity? So, our turn. All of these gates are fair game, but only widespread pitches for a pummel. So I think, well, and it additionally only widespread pitches for Nebula. But actually, no, our go again, we want to use Nazareth to attack anyways. So if we Shadow Puppetry, yeah, alright, we'll take this initial 2, and we'll see what else they come in with. Really blue heavy. Ooh, Antico Core down. Alright. Alright, they've got action points to spare. What? Alright. Lots of blue attacks. That was weird. I think their spot was okay. Then again, we were about to uncork for a, what's that, 7, 15, 20, 21, 23 damage turn that was guaranteed to rip a card from their hand. So, you know, I told you, we lost all the equipment, and I'm like, we're winning this game. Not exactly how I imagined it happening, but scoreboard. Yeah, I was also surprised to see galvanic arms there when they're not. Yeah, when they're not trying to do the hyperdriver thing. I feel like Goliath Gauntlet is just more value. Arachne Huntsman. My goodness. Okay. So Arachne's going to try and fatigue us, so we probably just want a bunch of extra cards. Um, you know, we're going to bring Oblivion in just because I feel like if we pull it off again, I feel like Arachne will uh, have trouble dealing with it. And we're just going to run standard loadout, full pile. Deathly Whale. Alright, they brought AB Hood, which is very reasonable. Arsenal Pass. Man, all the shadow puppetries in our first 2 hands. Am I about to pitch 2 shadow puppetries? Nerve Scalpel. I'll Nerve Scalpel myself. I did Nerve Scalpel myself. Sack the Shifty. Base, go again. There are relatively few cards in my deck that can do that. Arachne sunk the top card. Okay, so card on top was not. Oh, love it, love it, love it. We're going to double whale this turn. Nothing like a turn 2 7 card hand. Okay, so we do want to Shadow Puppetry and Pay a Life. And we'll Deathly Whale with Go again. Like, we did take 7 damage. No, 6 damage to do this, but like Arachne, your weapons just attack for 1. You're playing into my game. Cool. So they're here on defense. I think I just pummel this. Because I can come in with sure. Sometimes you just gotta make them have it. So that threatened 12 into another 8. 20 damage turn. And passing setup across turns. Regicide, Spider's Bite. Alright, what is our turn going to be? Well, we don't block Spider's Bites in this house. Rob the Rich. Cost 2 or greater. I think we want to Arsenal, Envelop. I could just value block 5 here with a Putrid. Like we don't have any good go again tricks here. I guess I could just take it and we could play Putrid Stirrings into Deathly Delight, but that keeps us without an Arsenal, and I don't love that. Okay. No, this is fine. We can banish Deathly Delight. We'll get our value. Tunic Resource, Envelop, pay a life. Delight for 4 and 8. Yeah, but I'm afraid of falling behind on the banish situation. It's a scary place to be. Oh man, naturally. All right. Well, talked about it before we started playing and immediately did the thing. I left myself without Rune Chance or a Tunic counter, and naturally we immediately draw our first copy of Reduced to Rune Chance. Eradicate. So I feel like if they're going Tunic Resource, Eradicate, holding 2 cards in hand, they sunk the top card. I feel like there's probably no world where our opponent doesn't have like double cut down to size here. So I think I want to block 6 and see what they do. Or actually, I guess I could block 5. We'll see what they do here. Cut down to size. Sunk the top card, passed. Well, this hand isn't doing anything anyways. Although I guess... yeah, we'll let him hit. A little punished there. But it's okay. We are now live with a reduced rune chant in hand. It's always, why is it always widespread annihilation? Every time I get hit with eradicate, there's a widespread annihilation in the cards that go. Pitch, spreading, plagued, come in with surgical for 4. Sunk the top card. Coming in for 4. I feel like they probably have, I feel like they arsenaled a second cut down to sides, maybe. But I'd like to get this widespread out of arsenal. It's not really doing anything for us there. And we could potentially unlock a much stronger turn. That puts it up to 7. Banish Putrid Stirrings, Reduced Rune Chant, that has us at 3. Banish Deathly Wail, Reduced Rune Chant, we can actually play it. So we're going to put Crown in front, and I think this Revel to make them have it. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, so here we're going to go to 3 Rune Chants. We have Annihilation and Banish. So if I banish Putrid Stirrings, we can Envelop, Wail, roll over our Putrid Stirrings. Or, yeah, I think I want to Annihilation this turn. I guess now if we want to roll over the chance. Let's do that. Let's Annihilation on a stronger turn. For now, we will Envelop, pitch that, pay a life. Playing with a lead in life, which means we get to prioritize keeping our setup. Sure. Love to see those reactions there. Leave no witnesses for 4. This hand is not concerned with that. I think we just say do your worst. Incantation, so they get a silver. Okay, so we've got Annihilation. We're going to go to 3. We can Tunic Envelop to go to 4. And we can Putrid Stirrings from hand and leave ourselves with a Deathly Delight in Banish. I think that sounds good to me. Banish Deathly Delight. I I think we don't need to pay here because we're gonna go to 4. So right now it's gonna be 4 and 8. This makes it 4 and 11. And there's just no world where we have to pay life into that. We haven't seen. Oh no, we saw all of our Shadow Puppetries early, and then we banished. No, that was last game. Alright, that's the last sink below. Totally unpressured turn here, which is pretty awesome. Oh, touche. I stand corrected. I think Deathly Whale is probably the best card for me to get into Arsenal. Chosen Leave No Witnesses. So I have to banish. I'd like to banish Funeral Moon. I think we just ditch the pummel. Eat our vegetables, lose the pummel. Because we have to. Sunk the top card. We just take 4. Okay. So we're going to envelop, Deathly Delight, paying a life. So we're going to clear all but 2 cards from banish. And Deathly Delight will offset 1 of our blood debt for the turn. We'll be reasonably on our way to clearing for the next go around. Might end up in a situation where we want to banish a non-blood debt card. And it's not the most threatening 9, but it's currently half of their life total. Don't hate eating and eradicate. Card is Scurry. So we've seen all the sinks and one fate. Close the chain, gain our life, funeral moon, pay no life. E-strike for 5 with go again. So we will banish a card to go up to 2 rune chance. I could go... Nope, don't have the resources to do the cutesy play. But I can... Oh, shoot. I think we need to eat our vegetables. Delight is the easiest for us to clear on a future turn. And we're going to block out this leave no witnesses. Actually, we can't. Not if we want to have the turn we're anticipating. Codex is real strong. Fun fact. Already got one of those. So we'll ditch that. We'll keep our resources. Sunk the top card. So it's just 4. But we could block this out, throw Phantom Wraith for 8, but we have no setup. We take the hit. Taking the hit is a problem. Let's see. Yeah, not having Tunic up this turn hurts a lot. I think it's a bit too risky. I think we're going to make the more conservative play here. Block out the leave no witnesses. Banish the envelop. Clear one of our 2 blood debt. Coming back around to it. We have a fine card in Arsenal. We've got a Deathly Whale on standby. We're about to have Tunic, which means, well, I don't know. Not a great sitch. Not a great situation. The turn where we were able to take all the cards from our opponent's hand. It being an annihilation and not a destruction was huge, because the one card we left them with was the Arsenaled Codex. So it was a 0 card 4 that has done way more than that because it hit and banished 2 Blood Debt things. Sunk the top card. Blocking 5 here is pretty rough. I gotta see what they have. We need to have an explosive play to rip tempo back. Okay. That's the last cut to the chase. So our opponent absolutely can't let this Mauvrion Skies hit, because that immediately unlocks the Deathly Wail that's in Banish. Okay. Alright, well, so we don't want to banish any extra cards, but we do want to try and demand another card from our opponent. So we're going to break that chain. Ooh. And... oh, you know what? No, that's much better. Well, let's see. If we flail, threatening the last card, but we are going to take Blood Debt. Or we could throw Deathly Delight and gain some HP back. We've got Tunic. I think we... okay. This is a hand. Alright. Don't hate that at all. Deathly Delight is the banish. We can't get that, can't get the whale out of Arsenal just yet. So we're definitely going to threaten go again. And we're going to do it at a breakpoint. We're actually on our way to fatiguing our opponent, interestingly enough. Fate for scene number 2. Fate. And then this is effectively free. Will they give us the flick knives for it? Okay. We get a life point back, but then we take the blood debt. You know, we haven't seen any copies of Death Touch yet this game, so I'm a little concerned. Oh, Sigil Go. All right. Okay. So we hit an incantation, which is enormous. So we play an incantation, pitch for a second rune chant. Oh, we have a Mav in Arsenal. So we do this. And we still need to be threatening cards from our opponent. But this isn't a lethal amount of damage, so we need to try and get setup momentum too. Like we got flick knives last turn. I think we need to do it because this makes them have to block with 2 cards. And we don't want to banish, so we'll just break the chain before we follow up with flail. Notably, we're not too far from being at 1, but flick knives is offline. So problem is, I think we've used all of our Deathly Delights. 1, 2. Yep, 3. Yeah, so we have no more life gain in the deck. So we are not far from Flail of Agony just not being an option anymore. Okay, so there. Oh, that's an interesting choice. Because with me so low, like they could they could Spider's Bite and Spreading Plague that. Okay. Alright, so we really, really want another rune chant or to take that last card from hand. So we're going to break the chain. We're going to try and get that last card. Okay. There's the first death that we were talking about. Tunic's about to be up, so I fully expect the Arsenal card to be another Death Touch. And it's not, and I'm really happy about that. That said, I think we're too little too late here. Yeah, we got this Deathly Whale in Banish for Far, far too long. Um, we can Mauve Skies. We grasp Mauve Skies, but that pretty much puts it face up that we're dead to what they've got going on. Uh, but I don't think that makes us any less dead, so. Um, boop, boop. Man, I have felt like I've lost games singularly to like Winter's Bite and stuff before. This is one of the first games that I've ever felt entirely like I lost the game to Codex of Frailty and not my opponent's deck. Boom, flailed him. All right. So what went wrong there? Um, we had we had that early turn where I cashed in all of our setup and the Tunic resource uh, for a big turn, which they fully blocked out. So we did what we wanted to do and got all 4 cards from their hand. Um, but that left them with Codex, which was disruptive and offensive enough that we've got behind uh, on Blood Debt. Like we probably took 4. We probably took 6 damage just from that yellow Deathly Whale getting banished. Need to be more disciplined with Tunic in waiting for, okay, cool, Tunic incantation, or if we're going to go shields down and lose our setup, then just save Tunic resource for reduce to start the chance back up. How do you do, fellow Runeblades? So we ditched Scepter of Pain for Grimoire and the Mirror, and we're probably planning on playing a bit of a longer game. Um, I don't know that we need extra cards, though. We get to go first, so I want the Revels. Um, a few extras is probably fine. Okay. Widespread Ruin. That card's going to be really interesting in the mirror. Ooh. Rough, rough opening for our opponent. Okay, so we've got a lot of rune chance. I think it's too greedy to burn through both of these envelopes in one swoop. So I think we're going to go Envelop, Pitch Putrid, Pay a Life. And we'll Deathly Delight, Creepers, Revel, Phantom Wraith. And actually, arsenaling Envelop, especially when we have Tunic coming around, makes all too much sense. So we're very strongly representing a pummel here, which is probably something on our opponent's mind at the moment. So that was 11 into another 10. So 21 damage turn with Creepers, where we're getting to keep an arsenal. Okay. Reduce their enchant sends its regards. Presumably our opponent was thinking if we were going to pummel them, they might have been keeping the reduce as pummel fodder to keep a functional, 5-card hand for the next go around. Arsenal or Envelop, move on with life. The nice part about being our opponent has a widespread ruin that they're going to throw at us. We don't super care if we take arcane damage or take damage from that when it's just as likely to draw us a card. And most of our possible gates are live. Widespread ruin is unfortunately not. So we can only make Mauve Skies. Given the presence of Envelop of in Darkness in our hand, I'm more inclined to cycle out the one in our arsenal. Want to see a few more cards because Widespread Annihilation is not the gate we want in this moment. Okay, so we will banish from the top of our deck. That is absolutely a guarantee. It's a red mauve. We don't want to just get freebie double gated. But our opponent is also representing a pummel at the moment. But that's alright. We'll see about weathering this storm. Cycle out the Arsenal Envelop. That's a much, much better It's results-oriented thinking, but I should have left it on top. What am I doing? It would have been so much better if that card was just freely put into my banish zone. Actually, not even necessarily the case, because I still have to finish at the start of my turn. So I'd much rather have it in hand now, so that if we have to, we can block a bit. And we're always left the option to just go banish Wraith, Tunic, Envelop, Wraith. With this early life lead that we've got. Ooh. Okay. Quillhand in the house. Opponent is determined to make back some ground. No AB. No to AB. And I think this is a 7 we just take. Our turn right now is Tunic for Envelop. Mauve Skies and Putrid Stirrings into Flail. We can make sure our creepers stick around. Yeah, I think we just take the 7. And Flail coming in. No problem giving this a Grasp block to keep our opponent off of setup, especially now that Quillhand's gone. That's probably, this setup versus Tunic Grasp in the mirror is probably a pretty big liability, I would imagine. I just don't even know if I want to. Yes, pay a life, and that life is to keep creepers around for another turn. Maybe the real move, because Flail's doesn't feel that scary here. Although we're bumping this up to 10 power. I think because we're pumping our attack up so high. Because I could have kept Tunic Resource and pitched Mauve Skies, but with no setup, actually, that's not right. I'm gonna see if our opponent is cool. There we go. So banish the Phantom Wraith. We're going to envelop. We are going to pay a life. So this is just a lot of damage anyways, and with our opponent having no setup, they're already incentivized to like block heavily, banish a thing, try and take a setup turn. I think I'd rather keep the Tunic resource here. We don't need to pay a life a second time. And we'll come in for 2 and 10. Guarantees our creepers stick around for another cycle. Oof, just taking it. All right. Well, let's see. Let's see what they got. Well, awkwardly, we also just have no setup now. Okay, banish Deathly Delight. Ooh, the hard cast Widespread Annihilation. Well, we're gonna lose a card from hand no matter what. Well, no, we're not. So I could block this one rune chant with Tunic, and then on my turn, Uh, Banish Whale, Hardcast Whale, Arsenal Putrid. No, that doesn't. That's not how math works. I think we will take the hit. And if I plan on banishing Pummel to the Annihilation trigger. Banish Pummel to Annihilation. But I'm not carrying any of my own setup is the problem. This Annihilation is very good here. So if we just take 6. I can always clear a Putrid Stirrings though, like if times ever got dire. Okay, banish Pummel, pitch Whale for Whale. 1 and 4 means they're not gonna be fond of the idea of paying, but if they're paying attention, they will see that they can take my creepers off the table by pitching. I think this might be my first time playing a Vynnset mirror match. Uh, like outside of very early on. No, this definitely is my first mirror match. Okay, they're pitching for it. They're gonna, yeah, maybe not. Maybe just pitching a different card. Oh, okay. Keeping themselves with more resources in hand makes perfect sense. I wouldn't be shocked if this gets card Carapace. Also, I would very much love to draw a Runeblood incantation or reduce to Rune Chant while we are being so disciplined here with our Tunic on 3. We're about due. We haven't seen any yet. Okay, we get 1, which I will take gladly. We've got Putrid chillin'. Okay, our next turn looks pretty solid. Deathly Whale. Oh, the opponent is full of whales this time around. They have Whale Delight. Blue whale in hand we saw when they did a take back. We wouldn't know that, but it's probably getting pitched regardless. Oh, interesting. They were very, very close to just sort of the free roll double gate. Alright, what is our turn? We've got a Putrid Stirrings, which will cost 3. We will have 2 Rune Chants, and we'll have things to gate. So, yeah, we can present a ton of damage back. 0. Black 0. Black 0. So our turn. Banish. Widespread Ruin. Pitch 3 to Putrid Stirrings. Pay a life. So I like that better. That lets us block with this Phantom Wraith, arsenal the Envelop. So if we block 3, take 6. Our opponent is living the dream on setup now, which is rough for us. Widespread Ruin will be the banish. Oh, brief moment of panic. Tunic resource. We will pay a life because this is still like a weird, annoying amount for them to stop. And then this is just so much damage, they have to respect it. We are in some danger though, because like even if they block out with literally everything, they still send 8 damage back on their turn. Yep, that tracks. 11 on 11 is good. But we find ourselves in the enviable position to be the Vynnset with more life. Yeah, misses for both players. Okay. Ooh, Deathly Whale. Okay. Opponent is still... They're going to threaten lethal. So on our turn, we're banishing Phantom Wraith. Playing... Okay. Whale incantation. Interesting. I see where they're getting at, and doing this play is going to make my play easier, because I was looking to see how we could line up our 2 shadow cards to push 2 points, 2 unpreventable points of damage to win the game. But that is not an option. Not an option given the new state of affairs. But our opponent is going to take Blood Debt from the Whale. So this is 5. Wraith is our banish. We want to use the puppetry. They're going to gain 1, lose 1, so they'll be back at 2. So the play is still online. So Mauve Skies can pitch for... Okay, so here's our turn. So we're going to give up Tunic. We're going to give up well, that'd be great. So this is 5. Oh, but I'm still just straight up threatening a bunch of damage. So we'll give Tunic Puppetry. Take 2, go to 3. Alright. I take a hit. Three to 3. But now 3 to 2. Phantom Wraith. So okay, so we can guarantee push 1 point with Envelop. We threaten to make more Rune Chance, which makes it a must block. And we are allowed to follow up with Flail. So we'll pitch there. We'll pay the life. If our opponent has drawn their first Sigil of Suffering of the game, they will look like a mad genius. Actually, they won't because they have Arcane Barrier up. So we're good. So we're going to go play a Mobs, guys. And yeah, I did pay life. So the cool part here, we've split it. So it's 2 Rune Chance. One of them unpreventable. But they're still going to have to pitch to this AB. And really, our mission here is take every last ounce of of cards from our opponent. Oh, this is huge. They're going to reduce here using the float. Yep. Okay. So that's huge. They have the Xaxes block. But we're going to strand him with the last card. So they fully covered it. But when we break the chain, we can grasp for another Rune Chant and go to 1, presenting 2. We'll take their Carapace, we'll take the last card, and that should seal the deal. You misplayed here. What? Undo this whole turn? We'll see. We'll see. Alright, let's see. Carnage, what do you think? Okay. So we're going to follow pretty much the same pattern. We will pay a life. Envelop will happen. Same deal. First Rune Chant connects. Then they have to pitch. Okay, so they had an Oath. And then now that they're floating 1, I don't really. Let's see. Now that they're floating 1, do I even flail? Because they're going to have to banish whatever's in hand, which we know is a pummel, but that doesn't really matter. And they're going to throw a naked whale No, actually, we do. We do still flail. Um, we'll make the rune chant. We'll make them have to use that one resource. And flail. We'll get the resource. And get an equip. Oh, I guess, no, this actually doesn't. Yeah, I think we just don't. I think we stay at 2. I think we grasp and stay at 2. Yeah. Oh god. Come on. Come on, Talishar. We're 2 Vynsets working through this turn together. Oh, this is a really cool game though. All right, we pay the life. We envelop. We get our chant. We mob skies. We threaten lethal. Opponent pitches the 1. They 3 block. They reduce. We grasp. And yeah, this gets banished regardless. There's no, yeah. 2 to 1. But we do have to fend off. Okay, so we're going to AB3 with Phantom Wraith. We do have a life to give. So our most effective play is just playing the Widespread Ruin. So I think this is where we have to take a hit. Okay. We can't just, yeah, we can't just not present pressure. We have one possible play. So this should, no, this basically has to take 2 cards no matter what. We need to weather the storm one more time. Okay, okay. Makes sense. This is devastating. pitch. That's all she wrote, folks. We're probably done here. It is possible that our Vynnset opponent will brick. Yeah, us not being able to strand that one last blood debt is going to probably prove to be the difference in this game. Hey, there's a Rune Blood incantation we wanted 6 turns ago. Yeah. Oh, okay. Very, very dead. They ripped the one of the best possible top of deck situations. There's no go again here. They can't really do anything with creepers. Pay the 1. And 9, which we have not enough for. Wow. That is not a game that I thought we would lose. Yeah, we had a boom. Yeah, so early on, we had the early revel for a huge chunk into another huge chunk, and we just didn't push damage from then on out. Interesting. Okay, so this looks a lot like the Runaways original list, I think, except for the incantations. All right. First Vynnset mirror in the books, and I'm almost. I don't even know what to think. We had a massive early lead, but slowly just gave it away. Neither of us pummeled neither of us pummeled each other, but yeah, I'm not even sure what to chalk that one up to. It hurt a lot. I think the incantation, the turn they were able to land the incantation and throw out some offense and be set up for a few more turn cycles, that was what we have historically done into a fair few ninjas and katsus, and that's the way you want to close out towards the late game. Azalea. I have not played Azalea before. I am a little terrified. Alright. Handful of defense reacts. Bring in the pummels. They're going first. They're denying me the ability to go first. Good on them. Let's bring in a couple funeral moons. And go. Hey, Florian. Yeah, it was a phenomenal game. That was. It's crazy. I'm not even sure where things flipped. Like I felt so far ahead for so long, and it just ended up not mattering. But I was convinced at the start of the game that Quillhand versus Grasp Tunic was going to come back to bite you, but it just didn't happen. But yeah, I'll definitely be in touch. We can exchange some ideas. Hmm. So if we want to attack on this first turn, it has to be Widespread Ruin. And since we're going second, I feel like we probably need to attack. Uh, Mob Skies. Oh, that's much better. What am I thinking? Mob Skies, and we can go Deathly Wail for 1 and 6 with Go Again. Lexi being so close to LL, I don't envy LSS their present position. Um, they, I, I don't feel like they can let the world's meta be the same thing that we've had. Um, but at the same time, yeah, they can't let the world's meta just be more of the same of what we had because that would no one's gonna like that. Um, so they need to do something, but I also think they're in a weird spot where there's not a lot of time between the ProQuest season and Worlds to do a major shakeup. So I think the biggest question mark is about the BNRs is when the next one is going to be. Um, but I honestly like I don't know the matchup into Lexi as Vynnset is probably not favorable, but I don't hate it. I had a pretty solid record into it prior to my stream a couple weeks back. Um, okay, incantation. Um, but yeah, I think the other tragedy is Briar eating up an extra 150 LL points that go to uh, didn't go to Lexi. If Charles Dunn just takes the dive in the finals, everybody gets to move to a Lexi free format except us. Man, I couldn't pay money for these room blood incantations in our game, Florian, and now we've seen all three by turn 3. Oh yeah, just like we like it. 12 with a bunch of on hits. Whew. This is a weird turn. Yeah, the Rain Razor is insane value, even without Bullseye Bracer. Um, if it's a surprise hit on the opening Bolton shot or something, very easy for them to turn it into 0 for 8. Yeah, Incantation, if I could run more than 3 copies of the red version, I absolutely would. So we can have a turn, we can pitch an Incantation to play an Envelop. I think we just take a hit. Yeah, my they passed their flip. Yeah, I want to know when we're gonna get it because it's probably not going to be one of the ProQuest cold foils because there's 2 for that, and I'm assuming that's going to be 2 new mech heroes, and then yeah, maybe it's a Worlds thing. Ooh, okay, I actually don't hate this. This helps our hand improve somewhat. I would like this Deathly Whale, please. Fine, you can have 1 incantation. Searing Shot for a total of 7. So we will have Tunic up, but Envelop doesn't apply to non-gated attacks, which is rough. So I think I could just cycle this out. Nah, it's better offensively. We'll just play another incantation. And let's do it. Yeah, the new Riptide specialization is really cool. I think it's like the highest power blue arrow in the game, which is pretty sweet to see. Okay, so we're going to. Oh, that's not right. Play another incantation. Tunic resource, envelop, pain of life. Sorry, neighbor, I'll have to call you back. Yeah, I think it's a really neat take on traps. The fact that they're incentivized to let it hit is really cool space to play with. It might make toxic tips a stronger choice in general. Well, no better time to hit an annihilation. All right. Read on top. Oh, come on. Oh, Codex is just the bane of my existence today. So we won't get to pummel because of this. unless we pummel whatever attack we're grabbing right now. Grab Widespread Ruin. Fine, we'll lose a pummel. Codex is a very good card. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Not paying life because we're way down. Opponent says, send me the bill. And I say, send me a card from your hand. Another sigil. All right. We're just going to banish all the sigils. But yeah, I think that specialization is very good. I think it's like, it's not quite the same ceiling as Dread Triptych, but it's in a similar vein. And honestly, blue 0 for 4 arrows, just a fantastic rate for late game scenarios. Alright, bracers. Reveals Deadeye. So +1. I don't feel completely dead. Alright, so we're going to banish. Plink, plink. Oh, that blood rot is annoying here. I could also just block this out and build up for a turn. They've already loaded. So if I block everything, banish this, set up Rune Chance, I think I like that. It is reliant on us not bricking on the following hand, but that's kind of our whole thing. Oh, this was dumb. If I was going to do that, I should have saved the grasp block, because this was just terrible value. That was pretty firmly a punt. I could have just blocked 11 on 11, gotten 2 Rune Chance, and been it back in this scenario. Okay, Tunic's going to be up, so if we can Tunic Creepers. Who am I kidding? We're going to have to block anyways. Pretty sure Deadeye does not apply. There we go. This is where we will be very punished. Dominate. And aim counter. They get to rip a card from our hand. Three. This is us taking 7 in a blood rot, but we can pay for a blood rot. Naturally, they will take this widespread destruction, I would assume. Makes sense. Alright, all our opponent needs to do is dominate anything. Rain Razors on top, okay. I don't hate it. Four. They still have a Death Dealer load. I can't just let this hit. Or I guess I can, but it doesn't really doesn't feel like a game-winning play. I could block 3/4. Banish card from hand, throw. Okay. Just in case. And we died to the Rain Razors over the top of this. Yeah, we went from 16-16. Yeah, had some decent trades there. We were down early, which is not ever where we want to be, which was weird because we saw the good setup early, but we saw all of the good setup early. Uh, Alright, let's keep this train a chugging. Come on, opponents. Come have some fun with the punching bag that is Vynnset. All right. We get to go first. I think this is one of those the longer game favors us scenarios. Well, this is pretty damn perfect. To the point where I don't want to do anything. That card is slightly more expendable. We are going to double gate right out of the gate. Yeah, I just don't care about 6. We don't even have to envelop. We can just sit on the envelop, which is incredible. So we will Mauve Skies, Phantom Wraith. We hit, we get 3 chance. We take another card from their hand. Gosh, do I just full send? This is still 9 more. But I could send another 4. I could send 13 already. But no, I think it's greedy. We're going to have no pressure. We want to make sure we can keep our pressure up. I haven't done a triple rune gate, but I have attacked with 2 rune gates and a nebula blade or a flail of agony. That's my current record. Have you pulled off the triple gate turn? Yes. That makes perfect sense. I honestly, I don't usually end up with that many attacks in Banish simultaneously. Husk going down, okay. Alright, we get our hit. And now reduce is free. Big chunk. Oh, that's cute. If I block it out, I can get go again. So I will. We're going to follow up with flail regardless, so I think I just... Sit on the envelop? Yeah, I think so. I think we just go Deathly Wail for 9, go again. Into flail. Yeah, stuff like, timing your creepers for taking better advantage of Mav's guys and stuff like that. Like the ceiling on her turns is incredible when things are flowing. Another swing big for 8. I can incantation, envelop, widespread destruction. And that turn sounds incredible, so we're going to do that. I could use creepers to follow up with flail, but that seems kind of mopey. But we're going to connect anyway, so creepers will stick around. We're to the point where, at a certain point, we want to just maybe defend with it. Oh wait, that's not right. We definitely want to play the Arsenal copy. And pay a life. So widespread coming in for a total of 14. Shadowpede for 6. This Revel's not doing anything for us. And we're Vynnset. We can't take it with us. We've seen, well, that's a better attack to have. Cool. Deathly Wail in the house. Opponent is at 5. life. Defensive Art of War. Not a good sign. Ooh, fancy. And yet, Blue Pummel's going to have something to say about this if this is the only card blocking. Ah, okay. I see it, I see it. So now we just say, okay, we don't try and pummel. Resolution step. And we get there. Alright. Okay. That game felt phenomenal. No notes. That's not true. The note is draw your envelopes because those cards are bizonkers good. We saw, a solid pummel threatened a second one that made the block funny, so we had to juke with creepers to finish the game. Yeah, that one things felt pretty smooth. Another one, another one. Come on, hit me with something. Let's hit a Lexi or a Dromai. Let's play a meta deck this time. Well, we get to play another Azalea. I think we need to be aggressive. So we're basically going to run the Lexi package. Oh, this hand is phenomenal. They have a B. And that's fine. I think we just... This is a really gassy start to this game for us. This is a very real chance that we have 20 plus damage turn 2. Okay. 8. So what are we doing? We are going to banish widespread destruction. We're gonna... Oop, nope. Almost fell for it. We're not gonna widespread destruction. We're going to Deathly Delight because we only have one rune chain increaser. And arsenal that. Oh no, but there is no arsenal, or there won't be any arsenaling. So we can just play out the entirety of our hand. So this is 13 go again. Into another 7. Hmm. I wonder if I don't just flail here and save the setup. Because it turns out this arsenal is protected. So I could throw 7, 9 more value here. But I think I just sit tight. Sorry. I do not want to banish that blue pummel. I do want to flail you. Remember, you gotta hydrate to dominate. Alright, we got our chant. Ending with 3 sounds great. Seven dominate. It will take a card from my hand. So we're banishing widespread ruin for sure. Or are we? Because I could tunic incantation. Block 7. If this hits, they probably just take the incantation out of this hand. So you know what? No. I'm gonna take this. I will let them have the burden of deciding. Okay, snap's coming out. opponent in the tank on what to take. Yeah, actually, I mean, I guess I'll change my tune if the follow-up is a red in the ledger, but if I block 7 with armor and widespread, plan to banish envelop, and then I go tunic incantation. Oh, we might get to do it anyways. How can you be so remorseless? Um, just take it. Uh, so I could Deathly Delight and Creepers in the incantation for a flail. That does not seem worth it. Tunic. Attention. Oh yeah, our dear friend Remorseless that lets us pay life. So we actually only lost 1 extra life from the Remorseless hit because Deathly Delight negates it. So this ended up being a vanilla 5, sort of. The other nice thing, getting the arsenal here, we get to Crown of Providence for a better card if we end up in a weird situation. I've never heard of a better card in my life. Braces of Relief, Rain Razors. 4 on top. They haven't loaded yet. We don't want to let them freeload. But how much am I willing to give up to prevent it? This hand as a 5-card hand works phenomenally. Want to see what they got. Still a world where there is a red in the ledger. Another one. Okay, this one's just regular. No, it's not. This one they have activated Death Dealer, so they definitely have Rain Razors to come over the top here. And given what we're working with, I'm inclined to block this completely. We can keep Tunic, Creeper. I can give up the Mobs guys. Uh, there you go. Banish this. Pay 1 for Envelop. Pay 2 more for Pummel. Oh, they have the double? Ah, cute. Any arrow with a +5. Wow. I even played that conservatively, and they're still threatening an extra 12 damage. Man, Codex is a fucked up card sometimes. Uh, okay. Well, I can. It's 3, 8. I can block this out. Conversely, I could also just mostly block it out. If I block with Putrid Stirrings, Putrid Stirrings, Envelop, take 5. No, that sucks. Um, they're going to Ponder. I'm not going to threaten the card in Arsenal. I think we just... Nah, I think we have to... Block 5, take 5. Oh, and it's double Blood Rot. Okay, that was really stupid of me. I should have just blocked it fully. Yep, makes sense. Yeah, definitely. I didn't think that there was. I've thought about the infecting. Thought about the lace with blood rot. Was not thinking about infecting shot being infecting shot. Card on top. Rav for 4. Drill shot on top. Okay. Well, our equipment is about to get fucked. I'm not gonna load one more time. Five and 5. Wait, am I drunk? They definitely revealed. Oh, they loaded. They bottomed. Okay. Doesn't really matter. 8. Sigil. Cute. Alright. My money is on knock in hand for freebie dominate. Haven't seen any of our reduced to rune chance. Card on the bottom. Ravenous Rabble. Non-dominate on top. Oh, we're probably just screwed though. Go back to 1. Our incantation ran out. Man, imagine not attacking 3 times in a turn. I can't. I just can't. Man, 16.6. We were doing it, but oh, see you, Florian. Have a good one. Yeah, the on hits are a problem, and they are plentiful. We also didn't see any reduced rune chant in that game, which hurts a lot. We missed some of our good value plays. We had a pretty explosive opening that they just kind of casually matched because they play 5-card hands every turn. Another one. Yeah, 16.6 per turn, and we didn't win the game. Yeah, that was a weird one. There was a Codex turn out of Azalea that, Codex is good in Lexi. I think it is even better in Azalea, just given the slight increase in arrow quality that Azalea gets. And yeah, no, the deck's got insane value numbers, but just ended up not mattering. Funeral Moon has felt very medium today. Yeah, the 16.6 is wild. But yeah, then the opponent getting to what, Tunic low, draw an extra buff Codex, and throw a 1-card. Well, so I guess it's not really 1-card because it's Death Dealer, but a pseudo 1-card Uh, one card and tunic resource. I'm at 10-ish. Alright, dash time. Full pile. Nebula Blade. Oh, they bailed. How lame. Did they really? Our opponent just Q dodged and came back to win the roll. That's shitty. Now we're just definitely got to beat him. Sure. Can't codex me. I can't read. I don't need a two-hander book, but what I do need is for it to be legal for me to play 6 copies of Red Runeblade Incantation in this deck. That's what I need. 18 Deathly Whales, 6 Runeblade Incantations. The games where Deathly Whale is just amply available feel so different. What an asshole. Q dodges, goes first, opening hand, second induction chamber. Uh, I just like spitefully feel like I need to win this game. Are you there, opponent? Are you there? Hey, we did it. Alright. Deathly Whale. Pay a life. Don't pay a life. Here's 13. What you got, Holmes? They're running Goliath Gauntlet and Tickle Foundry Hut. So I don't think this person is going to be playing a heavy fatigue strat. In fact, I know they're not. Because we have 10 more cards in deck than they do. So we're going to play offense, but also there's a, well, I guess no. In the late game off of a blue, they can induction chamber and pew pew pew. Opponent is tanking. For anybody not watching at like 1.25 or 1.5 times speed this up, because this is going to be a long game if this is how long our opponent takes to decide on Arcane Barrier. Are you there, opponent? Okay. Not how what I wanted to do, but whatever. Let's get back up on the horse. Yeah, that's a W with an asterisk. I do think, who knows how the game plays out specifically. I do think that, starting off with an extra 10 cards in deck, approximately, we had a real chance to fatigue our opponent via damage. Ooh, alright. Prism. Oh, come on. Why people be dodging? I wanted to play into your prism pile. We go first. Cool. And I think we just stick with this. I think Tunic is great to have in a game that could go longer. And Grasp letting us keep pressure on when they're needing cards late game is good. Weird set of games tonight. We've had Kano Dash Arachne, Vynnset Azalea, Levia Azalea, Dash. Now another Levia. Well, best possible opening turn. Or very near it. We want to play the incantation, pass Arsenal. Arsenaling Envelop when we've got Deathly Wail and it's going to be live next turn means that we're all but guaranteed to have a double Rune Gate turn off of Creepers. Rolled a 3. That was what our opponent rolled last time. It was turn 1 for Levia. Command and Conquer. But opponent, I need these cards. So we can... No, we definitely want to keep Envelop. Because we can Deathly Wail into Widespread Destruction. And even end with a Flail. So let's give this, because Maverian Skies is enough resources to flash in the Envelop. And we'll give some equips. Alright, everything is on the table. I don't think I want the extra flail attack. We've already got an incantation rolling, so we will start with Deathly Wail for 9. $18 damage turn. Eats a card out of their arsenal. Man, it's a really early husk. Oh, 20 damage turn. I forgot about the envelop buff. Okay. Get the Providence to save the arsenal. What are we doing on our turn? Banish Widespread, go up to 2. Pummel, pitching Pummel over the top. Into Flail, Arsenal, Envelop. Seems pretty good to me. Endless Maw for 11. That's pretty gassy. Not gonna lie. Oh, I could also just envelop this turn, but I don't actually think I want to do that. There's 8. That Blood Rush Bellows turn. That was 21. So we Shadow Puppetry. We don't need to pay. We want them to pitch resources to stop Rune Chance because that makes their next turn suck worse. And Widespread Ruin. The hits keep on coming. We're not going to do anything with it now. So I think I'd actually just rather have this in my hand. Oh no. I don't want to banish it to Puppetry because I'm going to have to banish it to Ruin anyways. Well, that's not true either. They banished a couple cards, lose a bit of life. And now, so I haven't lost life, but if I flail, I will banish the top card. And I think I do want to. Okay. Arsenal there. Oh yeah. Finally, the discipline pays off. we get to Tunic Reduce to start our Runechant production. Nope. Man, pitch 2 cards to Mandible Claw. So there's really only one answer here. And that ticks down. So I can double gate again. We can do the same double gate we did before. So we go Mavrian Skies into Deathly Whale, present 9. Flash in Envelop. Oh, so I don't even have to present both, because I can Envelop and Arsenal them off Skies, which sounds great. No, we want to threaten Flail this turn too, I think, actually. So we will Mob Skies in there. Deathly Whale. Widespread Destruction here is not really threatening anything outside of its own damage. Oh, is this going to hit? Not bad, Vynnset. Not bad. This game, I knew you had it in you. And we flail. Alright, they hit. Blood Dead is off. Coming in for 6. I think I just block with... We're about to be threatening all the cards in our opponent's hand. Which means they'll just die to Blood Debt on the next turn. So cool. Hmm. They have to pitch. Yeah, they're just dead to blood debt. Unless they have some unforeseen life gain. Because this is 9. Oh, they get caught with no blocks? Ooh, reckless swing. Alright. Hey Chase, you still here? You thought 16.6 was good? How's 18.5 for you? All right. How many games is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games. Let's and what are we on the day? 4 wins, 5 losses. All right, let's do it. We'll do one more. We'll see if we can get back to 5 and 5 on the day. Not the most impressive record, but it sure beats the 0-4 from last week. Whew, okay. Well, we are not equipped for the new loadout that I wanted to try into Icelander, but that's alright. They are going first, so we are not going first. So my new theory for this matchup is haven't done nearly enough games to lend this theory complete credence yet. Is my disclaimer. Oh my gosh, our opponent is running 72 cards. Is this is Icelander trying to fatigue us? Fusing with Blizzard. Sure. Let's top 1. Okay, Deathly Whale in the house. But we don't have the extra chant generation, which sucks. So we're going to have to go a little more pedestrian. Okay, touche, touche. We will AB1. Sure. So that is almost the best card they could have arsenaled on turn 0. But it happens. You gotta be able to come back. Oh, I'm also a complete moron. Forgot to take the widespread ruins out of the equation, which was very stupid of me. So, Deathly Whale. Alright. Shadow Puppetry, Life Paid. Deathly Whale. Go to town. Okay. Sigil Permafrost. Revealing an Insidious Chill, pitching a Hex. Okay. It's there. What you got? Nothing. Alright. Not what I expected. But I know for a fact there's a 2-block in that hand. So let's break that chain. Get a rune chance. Play him off, guys. And see how much our opponent wants that arsenal. And the answer is a lot. So we will keep our rune chance. We'll try and arsenal the Shadow Puppetry. Oh my gosh. Alright. Let's just get all the quad reds out at once. Don't be shy. You got it. So they're going to be arsenaling an Insidious Chill. So I think we do need to try and pressure into that. We can't just let our opponent have a full grip when they're putting a permanent like that into play. No, I think we lob 9, and then we just pitch out of this infinitely red hand. And it's not even going to bother putting the chill into play? No way. What is happening? My fate has been foreseen. Sigil. Alright, everybody's just got all the sigils today. The boys are back in town. What we distinctly do not have here is a second rune chant. Uh, sure. I don't. I don't really know what to say to that. People just keep scooping today. All right. That feels like a cheap win, so we're gonna do one more. I'm not sure if our opponent thought we were playing slowly because we had to think about our banish at the start of turn, or if they just didn't feel like playing anymore. But yeah, into Icelander, I absolutely should have taken out these widespread runes. Even though they're good because they're 2 for 6s, it's a way with Icelander's abundant instant speed arcane damage. She can force us into awkward situations where we accrue more blood debt than we actually want to, which is a real easy way for her to take games off of us. Come on, one more opponent. Game 11. Will we be just over or just under 500? And for the record, obviously the dash game that our opponent conceded doesn't really count. Oh, we're going again. Awesome. No scepter. We'll bring Grimoire. We'll see if our loadout does the trick. I also don't hate the notion of, again, running a few extra cards. The opening hand Oblivion. The dream. Okay, so we got the same loadout. Putrid. So we banish Putrid, go up to 3. We play the red Mauve out of Arsenal. We play the Putrid pitching Mauve, and we pummel over the top to keep our setup rolling. Yes, we want to pay a life. This was a very, very good pair of first hands. Very good first pair of hands. That's it. Probably just taking all the arcane since they're forced to take the first one. The other cute thing you can do, so they saw that that was what we had banished, so there's a very real chance that the card in their arsenal is a rune gate of our opponent's own choosing. Here's 11. Pommel Trigger. And here... Wait a minute. Am I crazy? Uh, well, early whiff. Not great. Ooh, they got the other pitching Art of War for incantation. And passing. Alright, well. Incredibly unpunished. So in this instance, we're definitely playing incantation. Probably want to arsenal the mobs guys. Let's banish the yellow. Play the incantation. So we are super set up now. And our opponent is taking a bit of blood debt. But this turn, they're going to get to uncork a big one. Except our only blood debt option. Oh, they might not have whiffed. They might have just elected not to accrue additional blood debt at the moment. Tunic Art of War. Okay, so there's the go again. Deathly Delight, but they don't have any extra resources. Need to present an amount of offense. $11 with go again. Realistically, I want to cycle out this incantation. If our opponent has a Revel, we should just start bowing to them, because that is very fortunate and very powerful. Let's take 9. Okay, that's a much better hit. Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Wonderful. Wait. Uh, oh, right. This is the Annihilation. Banish. Right there. We've got an incantation going, so they're not going to be able to... I think this rune chant doesn't matter a ton. Widespread destruction. Get in that arsenal no matter what. Where's Oblivion now? We have so many rune chants. So much room for activities. Pitching to some of the rune chants. Just taking the... Oh, okay. Reduce. And a hit. Do I just full send this? No. I think we send the Wraith. Push some more damage. Arsenal of Mobs, guys, when we've got an incantation ticking. Man, second miss this game. Ooh, but our opponent's going to hit us. Maybe they'll hit a rune gate for us. Red mobs, guys. So we cannot let this attack hit no matter what. Do I just block out and go to the next cycle? I kind of want to get widespread ruined. Am I really about to just let myself take a mouse guy's hit? No, that seems far, far too reckless. just give up this whole hand. Make a rune chant and go to the next cycle. He takes a blood debt. Yeah, we'll ship it. We've got a life lead. No need to get too reckless, especially when incantation's running. And a flail. The flail doesn't matter as much. That puts you to 6. You're going to have 2 rune chants next turn anyways. Oh right, Deathly Delight. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So we let our opponent have their way for a turn. Let's see what happens. Weirdly rooting for our opponent to... The world is their oyster. Go again, maybe banish if they want to. So we're going to reduce. It's going to put us up to a 4th chant. We're going up to 4 at the start of our turn. But I think it's more important that we wail. We don't really need... We've got go again, we have adequate rune chants, and we have a revel. So I think I can just... block 5 up to 9. If they have a pummel, we just give up revel. We hit a deathly wail. Oh, we get to do it. We get to do it. Coming in for 1. We'll save this one. Pitching for Arcane is a good sign for us. But not for all of it. Hmm. I think we just do this because it's going to take all the rest of the cards. Like, we're going to lose out on one carried over whale chant. Oh, we're on reds. Pass the turn, we lose our chant. But with no pressure coming back, yeah. Opponent saw the writing on the wall. Though, interestingly, we would not have been able to attack. Let's see. We could have banished Revel. Banish Revel, hardcast Destruction, or hardcast Annihilation. Yeah, so we wouldn't have finished it there, but the life lead was substantial enough that we're about to have two awkward hands back to back. So yeah, so the next one was a bit awkward, but as soon as we hit a shadow non-attack action, it's just a matter of paying one more life and finishing the job. GG opponent. Yeah, so that is gonna do it for today's set of games. I think we ended up getting 11 games in. Um, the takeaways for today: more mobs felt good when we had them in. Feeling we had a much more consistent access to the go again was awesome. Reduced rune chant as advertised value wise. Tunic makes it feel a bit less of a risky proposition to be playing since you could always tunic reduce, which is a great sort of starter for it. Putrid Stirrings, again as advertised, it's a slogism that blocks 3 that we can banish if we need to. Funeral Moon felt a little underwhelming. It did let us do a double whale turn in one of the games, but just a little light on impact. So been thinking about trying to find some space for some more Read the Runes, and maybe that's a spot for it. Or perhaps it should just be, the third red Putrid in place of one of them. Overall, things felt good. I like the Tunic Grasp situation. Um, the amount of value we can threaten with that combination instead, and the fact that late game when we have a bunch of 2s and we're through a lot of our good rune chant generators, you can pitch a blue and still throw out a Wraith and demand 3 cards from hand is pretty good. So, as usual, I will continue iterating. I think the Pummel suite is in a weird spot. I probably want another one, and I might want to switch, another one that's red, and then possibly just 2 reds at that point. Get away from the resource cards when realistically Pummel is a card we're trying to race with into Lexi and a few others. So might shift this a bit. 2 Revel still just feels good. The free roll on a cool, here's my 3-card hand that can double gate is pretty great, even with the chant destruction downside. And yeah, no other great epiphanies for the day. But as always, thanks for hanging out at the Monastery Dojo. We'll see you next week. This is Kevin signing off. Have a good one.